Can you sip a steak? Tastes good. It's kind of the vapors of the steak.
That was Laura Ingraham trying to drink a steak through a straw. Oh, and that steak was, of course, stuffed with incandescent light bulbs and covered in plastic straws because she's insane. Proving once again that the right wing has become a parody of itself. Apparently, she was trying to trigger and own the libs. Well, congratulations. You basically just got everybody to laugh at you. I mean, insanity. So now, this was apparently in response to a climate town hall held last week, in which Democrats, because there were no Republicans, decided that they would talk about some of the issues that are facing our planet, as well as some of the solutions. So now she goes after Democrats, obviously, but actually calls out Andrew Yang for talking about incandescent light bulbs as being a little bit of a problem when it comes to climate change. Let's take a look at the full clip in context.
It's a meal that will trigger all the left people. Okay, are you ready? Are you really prepared for this? Okay. A warning, here it is, okay? The ultimate trigger sculpture, a kind of culinary sculpture. It has everything the Democrats hate: steak, plastic straws, and light bulbs. And if I could have put an SUV on this, I would have. Okay? Can you sip a steak? Tastes good. It's kind of the vapors of the steak. Oh my God. Don't ask me how we came up with this. But these are the light bulbs that Andrew Yang said are so dangerous to the planet because they burn out too often. I have a question. When you push that into the steak, is there any conduction whatsoever?
I'm sorry, I can't watch that clip and not laugh hysterically. The thing is, we're not laughing with you, Laura. We're laughing at you. That's hilarious. Hey, you know what? Whoever said the right can't do comedy, no, that's comedy. That's perfect. Complete and utter insanity. Again, she's like, don't ask me how we came up with this. I want to ask because I'm sure it involves some sort of drugs. And if so, can you share? I'm just saying. No, they thought, no, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna own some libs with this steak, which, by the way, like, the steak looked pretty good. I could see that it wasn't. It was more like I think it was like a medium rare. So now I'm hungry. I love steak. Just for the record, I love steak. I like, I use plastic straws, and so this is not what liberals hate. No, what liberals hate is ridiculousness. What we hate are climate polluters getting away with whatever the hell they want. So, and among other things, right? So now let's get to the substance here about Andrew Yang. So now Andrew Yang says, look, these incandescent light bulbs, they are a danger. They burn out quickly, and they're not as energy efficient. So maybe we should do something about it. Okay, great. So now he says he's not in favor of Donald Trump's efforts to end energy efficient standards on light bulbs, which, by the way, this was back in 2007. This was George W. Bush, right? He's like, hey, let's do some energy efficiency standards. And then Obama later on said, okay, let's now expand that. So this was Obama's order. It was going to start having an impact soon. But Trump said, oh, if Obama did it, well, then I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Got to get rid of it. Got to get rid of it. And so here we are. So now here's the thing. Energy efficiency is a smart thing. It's not a stupid thing. Who wants to pay more for energy in order to own the? I don't quite understand. LED bulbs, they last longer. They don't burn out as fast. They're actually fairly inexpensive. They last at least up to 10 years. They use less energy. I mean, imagine being against that, saving money. No. I want to buy light bulbs more often. I want to pay more in energy costs. Take that, libtards. Now watch me drink straw through a steak through a straw. It makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. And I mean, look, you can even leave climate change out of it, right? Who wants to pay more for light bulbs? Who wants to waste more energy? Imagine being proud of being that stupid. But look, this ignorance, it's kind of what people, I mean, that's what they're proud of. That's what they want. I mean, I remember talking to somebody who didn't like the government told automakers that they had to include seatbelts in cars. And I was thinking, wait, but seatbelts are generally a pretty good thing. They've saved numerous lives by, making sure that people don't go through the front window and die in an accident. And they said something along the lines of, yeah, but, I want the freedom to be able to choose whether or not I die in a car accident from going through the windshield or not. I mean, these people, they're like, it's insanity. It's insanity, but it's an insanity that happens to be killing us. Now, again, plastic straws and beef were involved in that. And here's the thing, right? So now I've talked about the plastic straw ban. I think the heart's in the right place, but come on. Banning plastic straws. You think that's going to solve the climate crisis? No. Now, the problem with plastic straws, especially with recycling those straws, is they get everywhere. They're very hard to recycle, right? That is a problem, right? But again, they're not a main driver of carbon emissions. Plus, there are people who cannot use paper straws who actually have to use it, people with disabilities that need those plastic straws, right? So now if you want to talk about agriculture, about consuming meat, well, that's significant. That does add a lot to carbon emissions. Now, that doesn't mean we're in favor of banning cows. That's ridiculous. Or airplanes. No, the most thing that liberals tend to say is, hey, why don't you make a voluntary decision to have meatless Mondays and cut down a little bit? That's all we're asking. It's just to cut down just a little bit. And look, here's the thing. All that does is help a little bit. And I say a little bit because right now, the main drivers of climate change, 100 companies, multinational corporations, are responsible for 71% of all the emissions. Yeah. All the greenhouse gases, 71% of the corporations are responsible. So all the paper straws in the world won't add up to eliminating the amount of greenhouse gases that just some of these companies emit. But to people like Laura Ingraham, those companies, they're fantastic. They're great. They're capitalism, baby, right? Oh, they love the pollution. Why? Because it helps them to get paid. It's the corruption. It's the donors, by the way, too. Fox News gets paid in advertising by fossil fuel companies. You know who else also gets paid? CNN, MSNBC. You can't turn on either of those channels without seeing an ad for natural gas fracking. All of cable news is awash in fossil fuel money, which is why activists had to fight and push and publicly shame these networks into getting just a town hall about climate change. And remember, that was not even going to happen in the first place until there was a massive pushback from people who actually give a crap. But unlike Laura, we do give a crap about the environment that we're leaving to the next generation, because like it or not, they're going to have to live in the world that we create for them. And I, for one, as I'm assuming a lot of you, actually would love to leave it better than when we actually found it. But for people like Laura, all she cares about is her paychecks, and everything else be damned. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a patreon.com/TYTNation set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.